On today's episode of the DeRaud-Messinger Show, we're rating Texas Longhorns wide receivers for the new EA Sports college football video game. Longhorns fans, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. It's greatly appreciated. And check us out at HornSports.com for all the latest in Texas news. Now, Dylan, EA Sports right now might not trust us for these ratings, but after this video, I'd be shocked if they don't just come to us for all future ratings in terms of every
100%.
single team because we are the best at this. And speaking of the best, Dylan, we're going to start right away at Texas number 1 wide receiver, Isaiah Bond, Mr. 007. He won't be rated a 7 in this video game. I can give you all my money under that. But Dylan, the Alabama transfer wide receiver, I'm going to go and I'm just going to give you a range. I'm going to say 87 to 89. It might be shocking to some, especially considering that he is a game ambassador along with a long list of, some of the top players in the sport. But I'm going 87 to 89 just because the full end production was not there this past season. Of course, the potential, especially with Quinn Ewers, and if the deep ball ever connects, oh my gosh, Texas fans, I will never hear the end of it. But Quinn Ewers and Bond, I'm thinking by the end of the season, though, the roster update might have him at like a 96. Yet again, I think I'm underselling him personally, even with the high end of that range of 87 to 89. I'm locking in 89 as my official guess. I got that out of the way. Come at me. I know you want to. What do you think about that?
I understand where you're coming from with the production, right? There's definitely more to be had during his time at Alabama, but he also had some moments as well where you could see the catch against Auburn, that being in the game, right? Him being a brand ambassador, him being the impact wide receiver on the team, and for a team like Texas, he's just going to get a boost in general. And that's where I would put that range 92 to 95. I would probably settle around 93. I feel like he's good just with his ability, just route running, and the speed on receiver is going to be the biggest boost to any kind of rating, and he's going to have all of that, right? So that's where I feel like, yeah, the production wasn't there last year, where you'd be like, oh yeah, surefire 90 plus, but just the where the receiving talent is in college football, where his name kind of ranks and just the talent level he has. This is where they kind of give him a boost already. And as he grows through the season, it's kind of like, oh, we already expect him at 93. He won't go as much. And then if he does become just insane, right, one of the best receivers in the country with Ewers throwing the ball, you could see him getting up to 95, 96.
Yeah, Dylan, yet again, I think I'm underselling this whole group in terms of ratings. It's going to be a nice and fun group to use because they're all going to be 80 or mid 80s to high 80s or low 90s, as we're alluding to here, especially if they do kind of do what we expect, Dylan, and give some of these players either low 90 like Bond here, or maybe some of the other ones we're going to talk about in a second, a high 80 grade. So I'm going to 89 yet again. Dylan, that deep ball in the video game is going to go crazy with Bond. Now, next player we want to talk about is another transfer. We got 3 transfers in a row, guys, so let's buckle in. We got Matthew Golden, the Houston transfer. Now, Dylan, his returning rating would probably be a 99 or something of the like. Maybe not 99, but 95 plus most likely. But this is wide receiver. Yet again, I'm just grading ratings in terms of production. Houston, maybe not the greatest passing scheme in the world last year, Dylan, which of
They could
course
throw the ball though. They could get yards.
against Texas they seem to do anything but not be able to
So
throw
did a
the
lot of
ball.
teams.
So did
Yeah.
everybody, exactly. So Matthew Golden against Texas looked like, Michael Crabtree. I hate to bring up that name, Dylan,
Oh,
because
that's
I just sent some
was not expecting that out of
PTSD.
you.
Just sent some people to the shadow realm who are listening over there. But Matthew Golden, yet again, great game against Texas. Overall, the year was pretty solid. But Dylan, it's just like another Isaiah Bond scenario where the production maybe isn't where we expected it to be, just given the potential. But it's also the similar scenario where in this system, it would be somewhat crazy to expect him to not put up better numbers and bigger numbers.
Yeah.
So the range I'm going for Golden is at 83 to 84, expecting that to increase as the year goes on. How do you feel about an 84 for Matthew Golden?
Yeah, I mean, again, 85, 84, similar. I would go 85 just with the speed. He's got name recognition just with what he was able to do at Houston. I think he's a bigger transfer than a lot of people are talking about with just the talent that he adds. And again, like the amount of speed Texas has in the receiving core, like you're gonna feel it in this game where seemingly everybody's open, and then all of a sudden, also the tight ends are open too because they've got great tight ends as well. So it's like again with Golden, like just with that speed, that's if you've got 95 plus speed in this game, your rating is gonna get a big jump every time that goes up. So just with his talent level, I feel like 85 he sits pretty comfortably at.
And Dylan, now it's time to look at the second half of this dynamic duo because yet again, the nicknames I've already generated for the duo are just insurmountable. There's already a whole
Mm,
army of nicknames because the second half of the Bolden Golden is, of course, Silas Bolden. Now, he's going to
yes.
be looking golden, not Matthew Golden, but he's going to be looking golden after some playing time with Quinn Ewers in the system. Dylan's already losing his mind over there
I
watching me.
apologize to the people that have watched this far.
But Bolden and Golden yet again, touchdown dances. That's to be determined.
Yeah.
He yet again, I'm grading on production this past season. He had quite a bit of production at Oregon State. He's kind of a versatile just player in general, a quick, agile wide receiver, not too lengthy in terms of height, but still, yet again, has proven to be able to get his hands on the football and make plays. I have his range at an 84 to 86, and yet again, I think it's quite possible that I've underrated all these guys so far, Dylan. I wouldn't be surprised if Bolden somehow ended his way up at an 88, especially being at a notable program like Texas now. But I'm going to go 86. How do you feel about that?
Originally, gut reaction like 88, initial thoughts, but that does make sense just with room to grow. Another under the radar kind of wide receiver ad that's a huge ad for Texas just to get a possession receiver threat, possibly that you could move around the field to get him the ball. And he's just got great hands, right? Like he's going to be a good safety blanket for yours a lot of times, just on third down. Needing 10 yards up the middle of the field. I think Bolden's going to have that for him, and that's going to be in his repertoire, right? So I think 86 is good. And then at some point, 89 by the end of the season just feels right to me.
I think so too. Now, the last two names, Dylan, there's plenty of names in the wide receiver group to mention here. We're just going to
Mm.
keep it to two because these are the highest rated that we foresee. I got John Tay Cook, not too many snaps this past season as a freshman. Of course, the Texas wideout room, Dylan, was arguably amongst the best, not the best, because unfortunately for Texas fans, we saw that against Washington. You play with fire, you get burned, Dylan. We got burned in that one. So top five, I'll give it top five for sure. I'd probably go top two, and it's not number one. But Texas, yet again, Jonte Cook growing into that role as a freshman, still had some plays on the season. 5-star coming out of high school. I'm going to give him an 80 overall. Yet again, this is the sort of thing where if Sark gives him playing time, you could see this number bounce in the right direction by a good amount. But until we see that, of course, to be determined.
Yeah, the talent's there, the speed's there, right? We all know what he can do. It's just he hasn't seen the playing or he hasn't seen the field enough to really show that. So I think the game will reflect that with an 80 grade. I have to read because the 80 is just going to be a preset for a lot of players. I'll be honest.
100%. And when, yet again, he's just such a talented guy, when he gets the opportunity, he's going to show that he probably was underrated in our eyes, but that's just how the game rating system goes, as Dylan was saying.
Yeah.
Preset, if you're a 5-star player, you're most likely going to be 80 plus overall, even before you get any snaps. So Jonte Cook at an 80. And then speaking of 5-star players, I added Ryan Wingo to this list. Yet again, there's plenty of other wide receivers that are Dylan, given a chance, going to put up numbers in the system. And I'm hoping that they all get to see the field because, yet again, we're only really touching the surface here in terms of the talent. But Ryan Wingo, man, he might be the most fun to use in terms of just a video game player, Dylan. A guy that's got size and speed and, 5-star ability. I'm going 78. He's a true freshman this upcoming season. I think 78 with the potential if he got to see the field to yet again improve that rating.
Yeah, and I think I completely agree with the rating was 78, but also like a really good 78 where like he's got the frame, you can get him the ball, and you can still make a play at that rating.
He's a 78 that you might swap in if you're playing
Yeah.
as the certain team, even for some of the higher rated guys, because he just might seem to be a glitch in the game. And just Dylan, the future,
Calling a glitch already. Here we go.
I'm cementing it now. The future at the wide receiver position, like the running backs, oh, just it's just nice to be Sarkeesian right now, doing new contract and a loaded group. What else could you ask for?
New cars,
New
playing.
cars, new country clubs. Now, what do you think about the wide receivers that Texas has? Let us know who will be the highest rated. Let us know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, have a great rest of your day.